Hi, everyone. Good evening. It is good to see you all. Welcome to the Scholarship Program Orientation Training presented by the Greater Canal Valley Foundation. I am Michelle Foster, and I'm happy to serve as the president and CEO of the foundation. And this is actually my 7th year anniversary, so I'm really excited about today. We have a number of people who signed up for today. And if you may notice, a lot of you have the name Susan Hoover. We inadvertently sent out a link from Susan, and so everyone now is not named Susan. So please rename yourself. Rename, click on the 3 little dots to the top of your video box, and you'll be able to rename yourself. So we don't have 30 Susan Hoovers waiting around. But welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are glad you're here. The Greater Canal Valley Foundation, as most of you may know, we are a community foundation founded 60 plus years ago here in the Greater Canal Valley area. We serve a 6-county region. However, our scholarship program serves students statewide. And our scholarship funds have been the fastest growing funds in our portfolio of over 566 funds. So we needed to recruit some additional reviewers to review the over 800 applications we received this year. So we are glad that you stepped up to the plate. And we are happy to have returning reviewers as well. So we've got a mix of new and returning reviewers here today. So I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. We have the scholarship team and support staff who are here. We've got Susan Hoover, the original Susan Hoover. Wave your hand, Susan. Susan is our scholarship program officer. We also have Katie Smith, who is our program associate. We've got Megan Simpson, our program director. Candice Krell, our grants manager. She's our tech guru behind the scenes. And Stephanie Heyer, our chief program officer. Our communications director, Jane Powell, is also listening in this evening. So we are going to go ahead and kick off with Susan. Susan Hoover, our scholarship program officer.
Thank you, Michelle. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you for volunteering to be a scholarship reviewer. I hope you will find this experience rewarding as you assist the Greater Canal Valley Foundation student applicants in reaching their educational goals. The scholarship program overview. As you will hear throughout the information session, a scholarship committee member is also referred to as a scholarship reviewer. To begin, we'll discuss how a scholarship fund is created. A donor created their scholarship fund with their specific preferences for a scholarship recipient to be awarded their scholarship fund. These specific preferences could be college, university, trade school, or vocational school, whether the student may stay in-state or attend an out-of-state school. Financial need, they want it awarded to students who have the most financial need. Renewable, most scholarships can be renewed up to 4 years as long as the student submits a renewal application and continues to meet the scholarship's criteria. And then the specific criteria: attend a specific college, graduate from a certain high school, study a certain major, or live in a certain county. Now I'm going to share a little bit on the scholarship timeline. Many of the new scholarship reviewers, so I would like to share with you an overview. The application was available November 15th, and the deadline was February 1st. We began receiving applications soon after November 15th, and we have received over 800 applications this year. This is the most we have ever received. As we receive the applications, our staff enters them into our database. Applications are then distributed to the reviewers. After you have reviewed your applications, you, the reviewers, will email me your selected recommendations. We will enter the recommendations into our database. The recipients will receive a letter the first week of May notifying them of the status of their application. And in July, we will send their scholarship check to the school they are attending. The role of a scholarship committee member. As a member of the scholarship committee, you will evaluate the eligibility of all applicants you are reviewing and make selection recommendations based on the criteria for the scholarship fund you are assigned to review. If you personally know any of the applicants, please contact me ASAP, and I will give the application to another reviewer. Discussions held by the committee members will be confidential. The next step is the student eligibility and making a selection. Making a choice among many worthy candidates is never a simple task. In fact, we can almost guarantee you will want to recommend an award for every student that applies. Unfortunately, that is not possible. 2 reviewers, you and your teammate, will be reviewing the same scholarship application. Here are some helpful tips and reminders in determining which student you will choose. Number 1, as you begin reviewing the application, the first thing you will look at is the specific criteria for the eligibility of each of the scholarship funds you are reviewing, and I will send you that specific information. Make sure the applicant matches these specifications. An example is specific criteria. You must be a graduating senior from St. Albans High School. You must make sure that they are attending that school. If you have multiple scholarship applications for the fund you're reviewing, utilize the point system TGKVF will provide you. Megan will show the point sheet slide, and we'll go over the different categories. Each category on the sheet has a predetermined point value. By utilizing the point system, the totals will give you a concrete comparison to the other applicants. While the point system is a great guide, it doesn't measure heart, drive, desire, or talent, the qualities of a character that allows individuals to become hardships in life to become successful contributors to society. That is why we need you. In addition to their academic achievements, financial situation, and community involvement, review any extenuating circumstances the student has listed. Keep in mind the amount of family members in college, and if the student has explained any other information in their personal essay. The point system is not the ultimate decision. It is just a guide to show you who you rated as your top candidates. Clearly, the importance of a numerical rating system depends on the number of applicants you are reviewing. If the available funds, which I will give you, allows you to make only one award and you have 2 or even 3 candidates, simply discussing their qualification in relation to the criteria may suffice. If you have more applicants for one award, you may find the use of a rating sheet essential. Next, I would like to introduce you to Megan Simpson, our program director, and she will walk you through the Reviewer Connect portal.
Hi, everyone. Let me just get my screen share working for you. So hopefully everyone can see what I have on the screen. And this is what your portal is going to look like. you will receive an email from Susan or from the portal that gives you a link to register to access all your applications. And once you click on it, typically you'll have more than one applicant, but we have a little test one here for you to look at. The first thing I would like to recommend for you all to do is just to make sure you have it on a display that makes it easy to see who all you have. There is a card display, you can do that way, but most people find it easier to set it to this table display that will show everyone that you have to look at. Another tip I have for you is to make sure you have the correct display option selected. So at the foundation, we have a few more things than just the scholarship. We have a grant display, but sometimes that doesn't come up, and right now it's not showing for me, so I'm going to stop my share real quick and try to reshare for you all.
In the meantime, are there any questions based on what Susan presented earlier? Any questions before Megan continues? All right.
All right, not hearing any questions. One other tip I have is if you have logged into the system and not been on it for a few minutes, it will freeze up on you. So that is one other tip I have for you. So this is the more option selection I was trying to explain a moment ago. You want to make sure the view section is for scholarship applicants, and you'll see that we have a grants view and a task group view, but that will confuse you if you have it on there. So if for some reason you log in and you can only see the universities listed, that probably means you have it on the wrong view. So that helps you out. Another tip we have for you is if you want to see a full list of all the applicants you have, and it'll pull out vital information such as the name, the family income, all of this, you can export it to Excel by selecting the checkbox. And then you just hit this export to Excel button and it will pull up a chart for you. Reviewers find that really helpful, that they can have that chart and something you could print out or save to your computer and make notes to it. To go into the application, you double click on it. And you'll see that it has a lot of different information like review, request, evaluation, point system. But the main thing to really help you see the application is this Documents tab. So you'll want to click on that Documents tab, and it'll give you the information. It'll give you the full application. It'll give you their FAFSA, their IRS tax form, and their transcriptive grades. And there's a couple ways you can review all of that. One way is you can hit Send to PDF, and it'll pull up a PDF for you. And so it gives you just an overview of information here, but if you scroll down, it pulls the academic transcript, it pulls the FAFSA, and it's all just in one big document like this. So some people like to have that all, the IRS statement. And then if you scroll all the way down, it goes to the full application. But other people like to download the application this way, and you can see it a little bit easier that way. So just to scroll through it, you can see we are reviewing Miss Dolly Pardon. Fortunately or unfortunately, I do not know her well, so that means I would be eligible to review her application. So scrolling down, I will look through it and just make sure that she's a West Virginia resident, the scholarships that she's applied for, and you'll see that they have a scholarship first choice, a scholarship second choice. Susan will let you know which scholarship you're reviewing for. So in this case, Susan let me know that I'm reviewing the Armstrong, Stewart, and Lucille scholarship. So I'll review applicants that I'll pick this choice. And I'll go down and look through it. I'll see that Miss Dolly was 12th in her class. She has a 3.5 GPA. If I want to double check that, I can look at the transcript that she sent me. And then I can look at her SAT score, and that'll be something that sheet that she showed you a little bit ago in the PowerPoint that had that guide. You may want to print that out and use that to take notes for each applicant you have, or you can use your Excel sheet to try to score those points. But 27 is pretty high. Then I want to look at her community activity and volunteer work. It looks like she's been in a play. She's worked at a theme park. Oh, and she has so many awards and honors. So I'm already really impressed with Miss Pardon before I even get to her essay. So then when I scroll down to her essay, I'm just really, really moved by what she had to say. So that's something that I'll give her a really high score for. And just maybe make note that I was really moved by that application. Here, since I had that scholarship that Susan gave me, this one has actually specific scholarship information that I'll need to keep an eye out for. And a lot of you won't have this, but when people set up a fund, they might have a specific need that they want someone to explain a little bit further. So you may recall that she told me that I was reviewing the Stuart and Lucille Armstrong Scholarship. That scholarship is for an Episcopalian student in West Virginia. And so they were required to say what church that they go to and give contact information for the reverend at that church. So if I select Miss Pardon as one of my top people and give that name to Susan, Susan will confirm that she is with Miss Reverend Kenny Rogers, that she is actually active at that church. So those are really just some of those tips that we have for you for that portal. Hopefully, I think you'll find it pretty self-explanatory when you get into it. You just have to find the best ways that work for you. If you want that full PDF to be able to look at everything, or if you want to just click each document one at a time to be able to view it that way. And it kind of depends on what you're reviewing it with, what type of computer and what works best. So that's all I have for you. Just that I would definitely recommend Dolly for this scholarship.
Thank you, Megan. The next thing we'll go over is what to expect in the coming weeks. In a couple of weeks, I will send you an email with the name and the email address of your reviewer teammate. I will send the eligibility for the scholarship fund you are reviewing, so you'll know the specific criteria to look for. I will send the TGKVF scoring sheet that we showed you earlier. The date that I will need your chosen recipients emailed to me, which will be a couple weeks after I send the applications. How many top choices you need to send me, and that's going to be, according to how many applications that you're reviewing for that specific scholarship fund. Some scholarship funds receive 100 applications. Some of them receive 5. So it just all depends on your top choices. And I'll send you the link to the reviewer portal. So does anyone have any questions?
Susan, we have a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay.
The first one is, when you do the Excel download, do all of the applicants for the given scholarship fund download?
All their information downloads. The big thing that, sorry, Susan, I just
No, that's okay. Go ahead. You review.
So all that information downloads. It downloads their name, their GPA, their financials. It gives a lot of that information. What it won't show you is their extracurricular activities or their essay, but it gives you all of the folks, just as long as you check all those boxes.
Thank you. Another question is, will the reviewers receive all of the applicants at once, or will they come staggered? This reviewer would like to block a set of time so she can knock them all out at once.
She'll receive them all at one time. So
And
she
Susan,
can.
that could be up to maybe 20 or 30 applications at once.
Correct. Yes. And they'll receive them all at one time. If they want to sit and do them all at one time, they can, or they can start and, come back 15 minutes later, a couple hours later. They have 2 weeks to review all the applications. So that's That's plenty of time to take your time if you want to.
That's all
Susan,
the
I'm going to do a quick screen share of what that Excel chart will look like. And
Okay.
it doesn't give you the best example because we only had one applicant in it, but it would list all of your applicants and then give information about that GPA, SAT, family income, number in the family, number in college. So if you're having a criteria where financial need is a big thing, that will help you sort right away about maybe the top choices to really keep in mind when you're reviewing.
So the only thing that the Excel chart really doesn't show you is the personal essay, where you're going to find a lot of in-depth information from your essay.
So Susan, talk, and maybe, I don't know if I missed it, talk some more about them collaborating with their review partner. Do they meet up on Zoom or like?
Well, I'll give them each, they'll have the other reviewer's email address. And so they can email them. And then, you know, they can email to each other whether or not you want to share your phone number, if they want to call each other. You know, they may have two applicants. It's like, gee, you know, I don't know which one to choose. Let me see what Megan thinks. And so I'll email Megan or call Megan and say, you know, what do you think? So you all can make that decision together if you're having a hard time making an independent choice.
And Susan, sometimes you pair people up with a reviewer teammate if they don't have one currently or they're a new reviewer. But then you
Yes.
also have some like maybe old high school friends that stay in touch and review together and have done so for many years.
Right.
So you can have a selection. You can choose your reviewer teammate, or Susan will pair you if you don't have one.
Yes. And if you want to add a friend, if you know of someone that would be, you know, would like to be a reviewer and they're your friend, then they can contact me, give me their email information. I'll send them all their information and I can connect the two of you all with the same applications. If you want to choose your own reviewer teammate.
And for those of you who have been reviewers before, who are online, you want to jump on camera and share your experience of what it's been like as a reviewer with us before in past years. Anyone who wants to speak up? To let the new folks know what's going, you know, what it's been like.
I'll speak up. This is Kevin Whipke. I've been a reviewer the last 2 or 3 years, and the candidates, the biggest problem I have, the candidates are so good. It's really hard making your partner or partners to really come up with, to make those final selections in a lot of cases.
Very good point. Any other questions? You guys ready to roll? You know, we didn't scare you off, I hope.
I hope not.
Well, thank you all so much for attending today. And really, anytime you have any questions, technical issues, anything, you can reach out to any of us, but especially Susan. And we appreciate you joining us, and we have made a recording of this, so we'll have it out there, but we'll also have some materials to help you with it too. So
I also dropped Susan's email in the chat for you all.
Thank you
right.
all.
Thanks so much. Have a great evening.